You pick up the bottle of Clear Conscience. Beneath the name, the label reads, "Forget what you've done." You tell yourself that sounds just like regular alcohol. You tell yourself that you trust this one more than the others. But something desperate beckons you to drink it. A tiny voice that's been screaming for silence since you were a child. The bottle and the liquid exude peace. They exude relief. They exude blessed emptiness. Forgetting. You tell Gremory that this is the one you want, sliding the bottle back to her. She tilts her head, studying you. "Interesting choice," she says, pouring a measure of Clear Conscience on the rocks. She hands it to you, and your fingers brush. Hers are freezing, but somehow comforting. "This one's popular," she muses. You grit your teeth, suddenly regretting your choice. "Drink it," she commands, but her voice is almost gentle. Her golden eyes gleam with something that might be amusement. "Some people would rather forget than forgive." You are too frightened of her now to disobey. What's the worst that could happen from a single drink? You down it in one go. The liquid is cool and clean as it flows down your throat like drinking fresh mountain water. It settles in your stomach with a gentle numbing sensation that spreads upward toward your head. For the first time in months, maybe years, the constant buzz of guilt and anxiety begins to fade. You feel peaceful. No, it's more than that. You feel clean. The memories that have been clawing at your mind start to dissolve like sugar in rain. Marcus Williams' face blurs and fades. Sarah Chen's tears evaporate. Judge Winters becomes a stranger whose name you can't quite recall. Gremory leans forward, her golden eyes studying you with scientific curiosity. "How do you feel?" You try to remember why you were so upset before, but the thoughts slip away like water through your fingers. You say you're better, surprised by how true it is. "Good," she says. "Now, go out there and start fresh." You tell her you're grateful for this chance. You'll do better this time. You'll be the person you were always meant to be. You thank her for the drink and then turn to leave. But as you reach for the door handle, your hand passes right through it. You try again, concentrating harder, but your fingers remain translucent, unable to grasp anything solid. Panic starts to build in your chest, or what's left of your chest, because you're becoming less substantial with each passing second. "Don't worry," Gremory says calmly. "You're just transitioning. It takes time for a complete system reset." You ask her what she means by system reset. "You wanted to forget, remember? But memory is complicated. It's not just guilt and shame, it's everything. Your personality, your experiences, your knowledge, your relationships, all of it has to go." You can feel pieces of yourself disappearing. Your law school graduation, gone. Your first case, erased. Your father's funeral, dissolving. Your own name becomes fuzzy, indistinct. You tell her you don't want to forget everything, but your voice sounds strange, like it belongs to someone else. "Too late for that. You can't pick and choose what you remember. Pain and joy are woven together. Love and loss share the same threads. Pull one, and everything unravels." The world around you grows dim and distant. The last thing you see is Gremory's face, smiling with what might be pity. "Sweet dreams. See you again soon." You wake wake up in a white room that smells like disinfectant and despair. A woman in scrubs is shaking your shoulder gently.
Good morning. How are you feeling today?
You stare at her blankly. You know the words she's speaking, but you can't remember your own name, where you are, or how you got here.
It's okay. My name's Nurse Patterson. You're at the Riverside Psychiatric Facility. You've been here for 3 weeks. Do you remember anything about yesterday?
You shake your head. Everything before this moment is a blank void.
That's all right. The doctors say your amnesia is quite severe, but we're here to help you recover.
Over the following months, you slowly piece together fragments of a life you can't remember. You're apparently a prosecutor, or were once before some kind of breakdown. You have an apartment you can't recall, a job you can't return to, and relationships that feel like stories about strangers. They show you photos, legal documents, even video recordings of yourself in court. The person in those videos looks like you, sounds like you, but feels completely foreign. They tell you that you were quite successful, driven, ambitious. But something feels wrong about those descriptions. Watching yourself on video, you notice things the doctors miss. The way you interrupt defense attorneys, the coldness in your voice when addressing defendants, the predatory smile when you win. You don't remember being that person, but somehow you understand it. As your rehabilitation progresses, you're allowed supervised visits to courthouses to rebuild your professional identity, but instead of triggering memories, these visits trigger instincts. When you watch trials, you automatically scan for weaknesses in the defense's arguments. You find yourself evaluating judges based on their conviction rates. You catch yourself mentally coaching prosecutors on how to manipulate juries more effectively. It's remarkable, Dr. Martinez tells you during one of your sessions. Despite your amnesia, your legal instincts remain sharp. It's like your expertise is stored at a deeper level than conscious memory. But what he doesn't see is how those instincts feel. They don't feel like professional knowledge. They feel almost foreign, like a dog's microchip inserted to keep track of the animal. After 8 months, you're declared competent to return to society. The DA's office, impressed by your recovery and eager to reclaim their former star prosecutor, offers you a position in their rehabilitation program. Your first case is simple. A young man caught with a little marijuana. Standard plea deal, community service, case closed. But as you review the file, you notice discrepancies in the police report. The search might have been illegal. The evidence could be suppressed. Any ethical prosecutor would investigate further. Instead, you find yourself crafting arguments to strengthen the case. You coach the arresting officer on how to adjust his testimony. You schedule the hearing before a judge known for harsh drug sentences. You don't remember learning these tactics, but they feel as natural as breathing, and they feel good. The young man gets 6 months in county jail. That night, you sleep better than you have since waking up in the psychiatric facility. It feels like you figured out who you are again after all that time lost. Your second case is more complex. Domestic violence charges against a prominent businessman. The evidence is circumstantial, the victim has recanted, and the defense attorney is competent. You should probably offer a reduced plea or consider dropping charges. Instead, you find yourself digging into the victim's past, looking for inconsistencies you can exploit. You leak damaging information about the defendant to friendly journalists. You forum shop until you find a judge who favors prosecutors. You don't remember these strategies, but they feel right. The businessman gets 5 years. Case by case, victory by victory, you rebuild a career on the same foundation of corruption and ambition that defined your previous life, but this time it feels pure, uncomplicated by guilt or memory. You're becoming exactly who who you were before, but without any awareness of the pattern. 2 years after your recovery, you were invited to participate in a study on amnesia and professional rehabilitation. The researcher is Dr. Gremory, a specialist in memory disorders. Her office is elegant, decorated with dark wood and soft lighting. She offers you tea and settles behind her desk with a file that seems unusually thick. "You're quite remarkable," she says, her voice carrying a familiar warmth. "Your case represents something of a breakthrough in our understanding of personality and memory." She opens the file and spreads out documents you recognize. Case records, conviction statistics, performance reviews, but the dates are wrong. They span decades, not years. You tell her you don't understand. Dr. Gremory smiles, and her teeth seem sharper than they should be. "This is your 4th reset. Every few years when the guilt becomes unbearable, you seek help, and every time, the help takes the same form." She slides a business card across the desk. Deep purple with gilded lettering. "Need help?" "You remember this, don't you? Deep down in the parts of yourself that go deeper than memory." Fragments flash through your mind. A bar with glowing bottles, golden eyes, a choice between drinks, but they feel like dreams, not memories. Each time you choose the same bottle, clear conscience, forget what you've done, start fresh, clean slate. She pulls out more files, more records, more evidence of lives you've destroyed across multiple incarnations of yourself. The beautiful thing about personality is that it runs deeper than conscious memory. You can forget your crimes, but you can't forget who you are. And who you are fundamentally is someone who chooses power over people, success over justice, winning over truth. You stare at the evidence of your cyclical corruption, feeling something like recognition stirring in the void where your memories should be. You ask her what happens now. Dr. Gremory's golden eyes gleam with anticipation. Now you have a choice. You can continue this life, building another corrupt career until the guilt becomes unbearable again, or... She taps the business card on the desk. You can start over. Fresh slate. Clear conscience. No memory of this conversation, these files, these crimes. She leans forward, and for a moment her elegant features shift into something inhuman. Too many teeth, eyes like molten gold, hair that moves like living shadow. The question is, how many times do you want to make the same mistake before you're tired of forgetting them? You reach for the business card. You wanted to run away from what you've become, but no matter where you go, there you are. Game over. Thank you for sharing my nightmares and helping me carry the grief. If you enjoyed the story, please share your favorite nightmare with a friend or family member, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want to go deeper, ever wondered what your favorite story reveals about your psychology? I offer story shadow readings where I analyze what your chosen narrative says about your inner patterns and growth edges. I also do psychological tarot readings focused on shadow work and pattern recognition rather than predictions. Links to both services are in the description if you're curious about what insights might emerge. For ongoing support, you can find me on Patreon or buy my books on Amazon. I've linked to both in the description. You can connect with me on Instagram or Threads at Nightmares and Grief. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Good night.